should fear you. And if they don't, things in the valley.
He did not have one. We have been his family since he was a boy.
Cobra Kai has thrown its last kick in anger and come to a definitive conclusion. Yes, guys, you heard it right. Our beloved Cobra Kai has truly ended, and I don't know how to move on anymore. Now that the dust has settled and I've had time to fully absorb everything that went down in the Season 6 finale, it's time to break it all down. Because let me tell you, things got crazy over there. It all started with the surprise, so-called defection of Tori and Miguel to Cobra Kai for the Sekai Taikai. And let me tell you, I did not see that coming. The stakes were higher than ever, and in the first final matchup, Tori came in swinging. She defeated the Iron Dragon's Zara, pulling Cobra Kai back into the game. But the real nail-biter was the boys' final. Miguel started off struggling against Axel, and I honestly thought he was done for. But Johnny, being the ultimate sensei, gave him the pep talk he needed, and that was it. The moment everything clicked for Miguel. He used every lesson he had learned throughout the series, turning the match around and landing the final decisive blow. Axel hesitated, just for a second, and that was all Miguel needed. But just when I thought it was over, the Sekai Taikai officials dropped a bombshell. Apparently, the points were tied, which meant one final tiebreaker, aka Johnny versus Wolf. This was it, the moment that would define Cobra Kai's future. Like, my heart is beating faster, even thinking about it. And right before the fight, we got one of the most emotional moments of the entire series. Kreese found Johnny and told him he was proud of him. Proud. After everything they had been through, all the years of manipulation, Kreese finally admitted that Johnny had surpassed him as a teacher a long time ago. I don't know about you, but I was fighting back tears. Of course, Cobra Kai wouldn't be Cobra Kai without some last-minute villainy. Terry Silver, being the snake that he is, wasn't about to leave things to chance. He ordered the kidnapping of Johnny's wife and newborn child, but Kreese wasn't having any of it. He boarded Terry's yacht, and the two former war buddies had their final showdown. Petrol leaked onto the deck during the fight, and in one last desperate move, Kreese threw his cigar into the spill. The yacht went up in flames, and that was the end of both of them. No bodies, no post-credit teases, just a fiery, fitting end for two of the greatest villains in the Karate Kid universe. Not gonna lie, I got teary-eyed after that scene. Like, we spent years with these characters, and I can't believe they are gone now. But let me know how you felt after this scene. Meanwhile, Johnny was gearing up for the biggest fight of his life. Wolf had him on the ropes at first, and I won't lie, I was nervous. But then Daniel gave him a little Cobra Kai-style motivation. And just like that, Johnny snapped back into focus. He fought with everything he had, and when the dust settled, he was the victor. Cobra Kai was officially the toast of the karate world. From there, we got a beautiful montage of what happened to everyone post-tournament. Chosen reunited with Kim at her dojo in Korea, which honestly felt like a long overdue moment. Robbie and Tori were offered insane karate contracts. I'm talking mega money. Sam set off for Okinawa for her year-long placement, and Miguel went with her to help her settle in. Johnny, now a certified legend, bought a new house for his family. Even Stingray found his place, landing a job teaching weekend lessons for beginners at Cobra Kai. And in a move that made my heart so happy, Johnny decided to teach his students both the Cobra Kai way and the way of defense at the Miyagi-Do dojo. Balance, at last. In one final scene, we got a moment that perfectly encapsulated Johnny and Daniel's relationship. The two sat down for dinner, and Daniel attempted to catch a fly with his chopsticks, just like Mr. Miyagi taught him all those years ago. But this time, there was no beginner's luck. Johnny walked in, squashed the fly with his hand, and just like that, we saw exactly how these two approach karate. And I feel like this is the beauty of this series. They made us fall in love with karate in all shape and form, and I'll be forever grateful. As if I needed confirmation that Quan was gone, the finale made sure to make it clear. And of course, the deaths of Terry Silver and Kreese were the biggest shocks of all. The two had always been inseparable in their chaotic, villainous ways, and in the end, they went out together. And yes, even though I hated them for the most part, I'll truly miss this duo. Will you be missing them as well? Let me know in the comments. The Sekai Taikai tiebreaker between Johnny and Wolf was brutal, but Johnny came out on top, cementing his legacy. Cobra Kai's victory put them in the mainstream spotlight, landing them on the cover of Sports Illustrated and drawing in a flood of new students. As they say, Cobra Kai never dies. One of the most touching moments came when Daniel bought the lease for Cobra Kai's old dojo and gave it to Johnny. Seeing Johnny step up to train a new generation of students, but with his own twist, felt like the perfect ending. He wasn't just teaching Cobra Kai's old strike-first philosophy. He was making sure every student got a balanced training experience, incorporating Miyagi-Do's defensive techniques as well. Amanda reminded Daniel that he will always be a sensei, and that felt like a final affirmation of their journey. Stingray's return to help teach beginners was a fun little addition, and I couldn't help but smile seeing Devin and Anthony training for the next All-Valley tournament. And let's talk about Hawk and Dimitri. Those two are heading to Caltech together, because obviously, the Binary brothers could never be separated. I don't know about you guys, but to me, Tori and Robbie's future also looks incredibly bright. An agent approached them about marketing their karate skills, and honestly, they deserve it. After everything they've been through, seeing them get the recognition they worked so hard for was so satisfying. Sam's journey felt just right. She's still with Miguel, but she's also off on her own adventure in Okinawa. And Miguel, being the supportive boyfriend he is, went with her to help her settle in. We all know that this is the last season of Cobra Kai, ever. But does this mean the Karate Kid franchise is ended? Of course not. This franchise never ends, my friends. Instead, we have a movie on the horizon titled Karate Kid Legends. Jonathan Entwistle, the director, did confirm that he had really detailed conversations with the Cobra Kai team about ways to connect the series to the movie. But let's be real, the season 6 finale didn't do much in terms of setting up Legends. From what I know, the new movie will take place 3 years after Cobra Kai and will follow Daniel teaming up with Jackie Chan's Mr. Han to train a new student, Li Fong. And Twistle teased that the Han family and the Miyagi family are connected all the way back to the old times, which sounds interesting, but I don't think it'll have a huge impact on what we just saw in Cobra Kai. And then, of course, we had one last fun little moment. A meta cameo from creators Josh Heald and Hayden Schlossberg, pitching alternate versions of the Karate Kid story. But ultimately, we ended where we always should have, with Johnny and Daniel. As they sat in a restaurant, Daniel reminisced about Mr. Miyagi's lesson on catching a fly with chopsticks. In the original Karate Kid, Daniel caught it on his first try, something Miyagi called beginner's luck. But this time, no luck. Johnny, ever the practical one, squashed the fly with his hand. And that, my friends, was the perfect final lesson. Same goal, different methods. Am I right? I know, there are a lot of conflicting views out there already. But personally, I feel like after all these years, Cobra Kai gave me an ending that felt earned. And yes, I'm already excited for the upcoming movie. But let me know what you think. For more weekly updates on Cobra Kai and Karate Kid franchise, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.